So today I'm going to talk to you about Love Letter. Love Letter is what I consider a micro game. Love Letter is a tiny little game. It's only 16 cards in this entire deck. It's really short to play, really easy to learn. So let me take you to the table and I'll show you how it works. So the first thing I want to show you is the actual bag the game comes in. It comes in this really nice velvet bag to carry the game because it is such a small game, but this is just a nice little way to carry the game around. Next, the game comes with these little cubes. Every time you win a round, you gain a cube, and that shows you how many rounds you have won. You're supposed to go, I believe, to 5 rounds, but we just kind of keep playing to whatever. But honestly, Love Letter and you win a cube, that's kind of boring. So instead of the cubes, what I did was I went to my local craft store and I got these little hearts, which these are very thematic and they fit the game a little bit better. So I use these in my game instead of the cubes. But as being a purist, I can't throw away any game components, so I still have the cubes. Then you get a nice instruction booklet, which explains exactly how to play, gives you a little bit of a backstory, but it is, honestly, it's so easy to play. You'll read this once, and then you'll honestly never really need it again. You will also get some player aid cards. There's 4 of them that come with the game, so that way every player has one, so they will know exactly what cards are in the game and the basics of what the cards do. Then you have the 16 cards that are in the game. That's it. 16 cards, and that's all you need. As you can tell, I've actually sleeved my cards here because it is such a small game and it does get a lot of handling, so sleeving it does just make it a little bit easier. So how you play is you will put out the deck right there. Every player gets 1 card, and then you begin the game. Determine who goes first, and what they'll do, they'll have their card in their hand, and they'll get to draw a card. Well, that's a bad draw. Let's try a different one. There we go. So they'll draw a card. So what they'll do on their turn is they must play a card because your hand size in this game is 1. So what you'll do is you look at the different powers each of the cards have. You'll play that. You'll do what it says, and you'll continue. Either last player standing wins, or if it goes down, there's still players left, and there's no more cards in the deck. Whoever has the highest value card will win the round. So now let me show you some of the cards that are in the game here. First, number 1 here, which is the lowest card, is the Guard. The Guard's ability is that when you play it, you name a non-guard card and choose another player. If they have that card, they're out of the round, and they must discard their card. So this is pretty good to play just to try to figure out who has what card. This is actually really good to play late game, because when there's so many cards already in the discard pile, you kind of know who might have what. So that's pretty cool. There are 5 guard cards in the deck. The next card is the Priest. The Priest ability is you just look at another player's hand, so you can kind of see what they have in their hand at that time. So you have a little bit of information for the next round, but that may have changed by the time it gets back to you. The next card is the Baron, which is number 3. The Baron allows you and another player, you secretly look at your hand, and whoever has the lowest value, which is the number in the corner, is out of the round. So you want to have a high card in your hand and hope that whoever you pick has the low card, therefore they're out. The next card is the Handmaiden. The Handmaiden is basically your protector. She protects you. So until the next turn, ignore all the effects of the other player's cards. So you play her, and then nobody can do anything to you. So let's just say they were to play the Baron on you, you don't have to compare hands. You get to ignore that. Next up is the priest. Oh, the prince, excuse me. We already had the priest. The prince. The prince, you choose another player, including yourself, and you discard your hand and you draw a new card. So the prince is basically, reset. If you don't like what you got, you can use the prince to get rid of it, or you can force somebody else to get rid of their hand. Number 6 is the king. The king, you trade hands with another player. So you play the king and you give them something and then you'll get something in return. So I just shuffle around what's going on. Next up is actually my favorite card to play, is the Countess. The Countess says that if you have this card and the king or the prince, you must discard the Countess. This card has a lot of controversy because the way I like to play it, giving out some secrets here, is that if I have the Countess in my hand and I have anything, even if it's not the king or the prince, I'd be like, oh, I gotta discard the Countess because I have to. Even though she's a 7, it's kind of a way to bluff around and try to get your opponents to think that you might have something that's pretty high. And then lastly, number 8, the highest card, is the princess. If you ever are forced to discard the princess, you are out of the round. So Love Letter is a small, fast, great game. Really, really good for new players. Also really good if you just have a few minutes to play. Because each game takes 5 minutes or less. Plays up to 4 players. Even at max player count, still does not take very long to rush through a round, even with new players. Once you've read the instructions or told the instructions once, it's really, really easy to play. Again, new players, this is definitely for you. Now, AEG has come out with a couple different variants on Love Letter using the basic system. There is a Lord of the Rings version, which I'm looking into. It looks actually pretty cool. Takes the same kind of concept of it, switches around a little bit, throws in all the Lord of the Rings characters. So that seems pretty cool. And then the one I'm really looking forward to trying out is Batman Love Letter. Now you're thinking, Batman Love Letter? That really doesn't make any sense. Who's writing love letters to Batman? Well, you're not writing love letters to Batman in that. They're actually fighting bad guys, but it uses that same love letter system. So check out, the base game Love Letter, or if some of those other variants sound good, they still all come in this cool the little bag. So they're still very small decks, very easy to learn, but the classic is Love Letter. Try it out. It's super cheap to buy and, again, super easy to learn. So try out Love Letter. So thank you for watching. Don't forget to like my Facebook page, follow me on Twitter, and like and subscribe to my YouTube channel here. Blah, 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 blah. No.